What's up, everyone out there, especially our long-time besties? I'm Craig Conover coming to you live from New York City. I'm joined by Austen Kroll, my original bestie in Charleston, and Nick Norris, wherever he may be in the Appalachian Mountains where he resides. What's up, guys?
What an intro. What's up, besties? We're coming to you on this glorious Monday afternoon after a long 4th of July week. I bet that everyone out there feels the same. I mean, everyone out there, considering that it's on a Tuesday, right? Everyone partied the weekend before, but then they were like, well, you know, we have off work on Tuesday, and was Monday a national holiday? Probably not.
It wasn't officially for everyone, but a lot of people had off. But dude, it threw me through a loop. We haven't had a bender like that in a long time because, you know, usually we'll do like one day and then stop. But we added a
normally Craig does one day.
That's true.
And then he leaves me somewhere.
And then
I continue on with the trip.
We decided, yes, as an expert that you still are, I am not anymore. And it really showed. I mean, we tagged on what was my first golf trip, and I think Austin's first golf trip ever, on to a 4th of July weekend.
It was quite the whirlwind. Like, so the trip was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We went to Milwaukee on Monday to catch a Brewers game.
That was a blast, and they were awesome hosts. Who gave us our certificate again? We can't forget her name. Look, they were the Midwest. Well, I mean, you'll hear us say this a lot, but the Midwesterners were the friendliest people, and
Midwest nice,
open-armed, welcomed us to the Brewers game.
So then, you know, we had some fun in Milwaukee, and then we had to wake up and drive an hour to go to.
Went to the casino, or did you not go with me?
I went to the casino earlier in the evening, before dinner, right? Before dinner. Oh my gosh! Jesus Christ!
It was a long. Well, also this comes on top of. What did you do for the 4th? Let's catch everyone up for that, or the weekend before the 4th, like Saturday and Sunday.
I don't. Let's see. I actually went to Whitney's pool on Saturday with my sister and some good friends. Taylor Ann was there. Nikki was there. And so rather than leaving downtown, we just utilized Whitney's pool, which I really never thought to do. I mean, we've swam in there before, but I never thought to do it. So we just kind of
never during the day though.
No,
I've never swam there.
That's actually true. So yeah, at night after the bars a few times, I've jumped into Whitney's pool for sure. And that's what we did. It was an interesting day for me, as you know, Craig. But
the first time I ever went over there, as an invitee, because Corey and I had jumped the wall before and swam in Whitney's pool before we ever met them. But the first time that we were invited over there, Whitney broke glass in the pool and blamed it on me. And Michael and I did not get off to a great start because he came the next morning and was just like, in the driest way possible, was like, you are the dumbest human I've ever met. Like, who would bring a tequila bottle into the pool?
I can see that happening for sure, man. Michael was very direct. He was very, and he had no problem looking down the bridge of his nose at you. I mean, he was like, well, that's because you're middle class and Master Whitney is upper class. You're like, okay, Michael, taking swings at me for no reason. It's like I'd walk in and he'd be like, we don't allow, sandals in here. You're like, okay, Michael, I'm picking up what you're putting down. It took him years to warm up to me, Craig. Years.
I was the same way, and I'd always try to have convos, and as the years went on, the convos would get longer and longer, and I'd be like, I think we're really making some headway.
Well, it was very telling. It was very telling. If you spoke poorly about either Patricia or Whitney on the show, Michael would let you know that he was not, happy about it. He was like, you're a bitch. You're a bitch.
That's
you're a
true.
Bitch. And so, the year when like Cooper Ray was talking all that shit, Like he would openly just bash on this man. And I don't even know him, Craig. I don't even know that guy. I think he was on the show the year before I was. But then when Ashley came around too, you know, just if you had something unkind to say about Patricia, he was just as loyal as it got. Let's just put it that way. And
yeah, he was a great
about
teammate.
Whitney as well.
And
so once he found out that I was an ally, then he began to be like, oh, well, hello, Master Kroll, you know? I was like,
what's up, Mike?
Yeah.
That was Austin's.
Yeah.
One time I walked into tell the story because I don't really remember it.
I mean,
where we filmed, it was the crab feast.
I really think that it was either the crab feast or it could have been Patricia's, no, Cam's, no, it wasn't that.
Dog wedding.
I don't know, man. But so like what happens is this, right? They like let us come in one by one by one. And so, you know, we all come in and, you know, we see who else is there. And then we sit down on the couch and, you know, we order a drink and there's some pleasantries to go around. Oh, you know, thank you for having me. Mwah, mwah. You know, Whitney, what's up, you old dog, you? And, oh, hey, Shep. And, oh, hey, you know, whoever's there. And one by one,
same
it's like,
thing. Yeah.
You know, it's another thing every single year. Just like a round robin of like, let's see who has beef and who doesn't, and who's smiling and who's in a bad mood. And so Craig walks in and, you know, like, all right, let's all wait for what Craig's got to say. And he's like, what's up, Mike? And he like tried to give him like a high five as if he was like a gym buddy or something. I was like, Mike, it was just like, he shook his head kind of thing, didn't say anything. And I thought that was quite funny. An icebreaker, Craig. It was an icebreaker because, you know, we're all sitting there like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Do we go outside?
He's like, how is this guy not a foe at this point? He's trashed this house so many times on accident.
Yeah, but you know, even Mike knew what
shout out to
what made
our
good TV.
Our good buddy Mike. We miss him. And I hope he listens. But we should. Yeah, we should. Austin, I wouldn't be surprised if he did. I think he would be great. He always did
Bravo.
Enjoy our rambling. So Austin went to the pool. I actually went out on the boat with some good friends outside of my like TV kind of circle, but Austin's in that circle too. And so we beached up at on the backside of Isle Palms. And it was just a great day where usually I'm like driving the boat. I had zero responsibility, just drank beers, caught up with my friends. But actually, our first little tabloid thing to address this week, we've got a couple. The first one was, I guess, me taking a picture with Matul became like a big deal. And I was like,
did you?
Yeah, but it's because it was Brian's birthday and he's good friends with Brian. So someone on the boat, like, you know, we explained, we traded pleasantries, exchanged pleasantries or whatever, because obviously, like, it'd be weird not to. But I was like, hey, what's up, dude? And he's like, hey, what's up? You know, saw you in the city a lot. And, like, that was about to be the end of it. And our friend Allie was like, hey, guys, let's get in a picture real quick for Brian. And we happened to be standing next to each other. So it would have been really weird for me to be like, actually, let me like walk over here. Instead,
I just, what are you going to do at that point? Good.
Yeah. And I was like, look, guys, if I would have posted the picture, that would have been, that's intent. Like, that's me trying to do something. But because some random person posted a picture and him and I happen to be standing next to each other, like, I just thought it was a little silly that people are digging into it. It's like,
where did this picture pop up? You know, just like a couple of Bravo blogs, I guess.
Yeah, I guess in the last week. And Paige was like, what do you think about that? And I was like, or she was like, what's, you know, how did that even like I didn't even realize it was a thing. And she's like, yeah, people are thinking that you were trying to start like drama. And I was like, I ended up in a picture next to this guy, you know, like I saw someone's TikTok and they were like, Craig's always the master of throwing shade. And I was like, I was saying hi to someone and took a picture. Like, the bar for this stuff cannot be that low anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be a pretty low bar if you were taking some shot years later. Yeah, that doesn't track for me. But I mean, look,
now in the back,
man, that's like part of the reason that I didn't go on about, because we were so stoked to go on this golf trip because of the 4th of July, right? We're like, man, 4th of July in Charleston is a shit show on the 4th of July, even though that we were there for the weekend anyway. And being on a boat, you're just at the mercy of the boat captain and like all the other passengers of like when you want to get back, and like you might be on a boat with someone that you don't want to be on the boat with, and then you're like, now I'm in the water for like 8 hours out on this boat and I have no way to get back, and it's such a clusterfuck in the water. And so I was like, what if I just don't leave the peninsula? And that was my thinking. But it sounds like you had a great day anyways.
Well, they tried to stop at Islander. Anyway, to wrap up,
yeah, he loves that.
The only thought in my head was, I was like, life's funny. So like in the back of my head, taking the picture, I was like, what a world we live in and how sick, how things come around. But I actually thought it was a positive. Anyway, that's the first thing. So take us on to our trip.
Wait, are we going to dive into the second thing right now? Maybe we should.
Well, we're going to, well, we'll take a quick commercial break, and then we'll get back with our second, a little more pressing tabloid Bravo addressing that we need to do right after this break. Welcome back to this episode of Pillows and Beer. Thanks for joining us this week. I hope you're enjoying our new format of 2 episodes every week. Of course, you can find our podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts, and follow us on Instagram at Pillows, the letter N, Beer. Austen, why don't you tell us how you came across us being talked about on Watch What Happens once again?
Well, I woke up this morning and checked my phone, I guess, but I slept in. What a long week, Craig. What a long week. And
yours was longer. Yeah. I don't know how you guys survived it.
I know, man. The fact that Shep and I continued on to Chicago. I mean, A, Chicago is never a bad idea in the summer, and B, I don't regret it, but I'm licking my wounds for sure. So I wake up, and the first thing that I pull up, Craig, is the group chat of you, me, and our 2 producers on our show who've been producers, all over the Bravoverse. And they were like, okay, guys, what's the tea on this? And I was sitting there like, I don't even want to watch this. I don't even want to know what this says. I can't take it anymore. Like, anyways, Nick, why don't you play the clip, and then Craig and I will talk about it.
Okay.
I mean,
how about Austen? Speaking of tall.
Wait, was that Below Deck?
That was, he's from Family Karma.
Yeah,
what about
Family
Austen?
Karma, by the way.
What about
Love that
Austen from Southern Charm?
Is he single?
I think he may
Got a
be.
little thin, I think.
He's very tall.
Yeah, no, I think we hung out once at BravoCon.
And?
You can tell us.
Yeah, we kind of exchanged phone numbers.
Oh!
So call me,
No,
darling.
she swapped spit.
Call him, Austen. Did you guys swap a little spit?
I'm sure. I did the other one.
Who,
well,
Shep?
we swapped numbers.
Okay. Did you?
Craig.
Oh, Craig.
The lawyer wanted it.
Craig is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, did you make out with Craig?
Well, we had a little tête-à-tête.
Okay.
A tête-à-tête.
All right. What about...
My message was just from like it was from Best of Bravo. Like Maggie was like, "Did you make out with Sonia or something?" And my eye, I'm falling asleep in bed last night, and I was like, "Wait, what?" And I like start watching this clip, thinking it's funny about you, and then of course you have Sonia just partying, like always, right next door.
Is something else. There's
and then
no
our
way
producers,
around that.
this morning are like, "Wow, didn't know you guys had," and I was like, there's just so many approaches to this, but I will start to say Sonia and I are she's always been a funny, like, great friend to have. The first time we met was on Watch What Happens like 6 years ago, me and Bobby Moynihan, and she rang the doorbell.
She was a doorbell guest.
Yeah,
okay, that's right.
And then,
I remember that.
We did a watch with the cast during like COVID, but like I don't think I've ever seen her in person.
Watch
again.
with the cast. Wait, she watched with you an episode of what?
Our show, I think.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it was fun. And
was
so
she fun as shit?
Yeah, I mean, she's Sonia,
Yeah,
and so
true,
like I've never
true.
had a bad thing to say about her, and so.
But you guys have or have not kissed before.
No, we haven't kissed. I haven't seen her in like 5 years, and then on we have to get to what a tit for tit is, or tat for dad.
A tête-à-tête. A
Yeah, what's that
tête-à-tête
mean?
is like a like I don't think that she was saying that y'all kissed, but like then she was like I sat on his lap and I touched his hair and I brushed his cheek with my we had a little we had a little brush.
Figure out if she
brush
meant
with
at
Danger.
BravoCon. Yeah, because at BravoCon I was like, like me and you showed up
No,
on
no,
like
no,
a
no,
lot
no,
of
no.
other people.
I don't think that she's just talking about BravoCon. I think that Luann was talking about BravoCon, and
Gotcha.
and then Sonia just kind of jumped in with like something, you know, that had happened like a while ago, and I remember you telling me that, you know, that as big and fun and wild as Sonia is, she like, you know, jumped in your lap, and you know,
Yeah,
but
she's aggressive.
but
But
Craig
no,
is-
look, she's a bundle of fun, but no, we have
Okay.
Sonia and I have not.
so
That's absurd.
I don't know what the game was that they're playing, but I mean, I can only guess. It was like, you know, who at BravoCon, you know, do you want to, you know, connect with or something, or like, you know,
It was about
who
like
would
just
you-
who on Bravo in general, like what guys
Okay,
would she
okay.
date or go
okay.
out with.
So, wait, you guys hear me? So I do not recall. I don't think that I exchanged numbers with Luann. I would have remembered, and I think it's interesting. I
I
No,
thought
no, I didn't. I did not exchange numbers with her. I mean, she easily could be confusing me with somebody else.
Oh,
I mean, I
Sorry.
think that, you know, Luann's gorgeous. I mean,
look,
mean,
it's a
I-
compliment
I-
on both sides. You know, it's
Sure.
like, look, you guys are bundles of fun. If we're the guy couple that they think of, you know, the two, you know, they're talking about you, and they're like, oh, there's Craig.
Gosh, I don't want to sit here and be like, I don't think that I've ever spoken to Luann. And that's where I stand. But I'd like to. Because
Well,
she
there you
sounds like
go.
a barrel
You're-
of fun. And I mean, unlike Craig, I mean, I think that making out with an older woman would be a lot of fun.
I didn't say I didn't think it would be a lot of fun. I just would remember, and I know that
Right. And that's what I'm saying too. Like, I would remember. Unfortunately, no, Luann, I don't have your phone number. But DM me.
It's just funny. Like the Watch What Happens things recently have been, you know, it's flattering and stuff, but it's a little nerve wracking, like to come off like a week long trip and then
I
be
should
like,
DM her, to be honest. I should just, you know, DM her and be like, hey, I saw you talk, you know, and then she'll be like, oh my gosh, I confused you, you know, with someone else.
Let's get her on the
maybe
pod.
they can come to Charleston.
I know,
for
right?
Season 2, or we'll have them on the podcast.
Wait, right. You should. That is funny. Nick, I love that function, by the way. Have you been able to play that clip? And then we can talk about it. Okay, let's start doing that.
Andy's face was, I mean, dude, they are funny, but in my head, I was like, you know, like things used to be so lighthearted, and like you could, I just feel like I'm a little scarred, which sucks because we've been doing this for so long. But instead of like being able to laugh about it, I had to be like, is this going to turn into something that instead of being able to laugh it off, I have to like address? And instead of just it being like Sonia was just having fun on Watch What Happens, and you know,
I mean,
everyone just takes things so serious.
That's what happens on Watch What Happens. Like,
Yeah.
you're there, the energy, you know, you're hanging out, you're having some drinks, and then things just start flying around. And yeah, no, trust me. I mean, Craig, I didn't watch the clip for the first, like, you know, 30 minutes. Cause I was like, what did someone say about me now? Like, I don't need this shit.
Hey, at least
you
it
know?
was positive.
Yeah. But I mean, scarred, Craig, I'm scarred. And you're just like, geez, don't suck the life out of me on a morning when I just don't have anything left to give.
So we
After that long week. So
it was a welcomed you know, compliment, and
yeah,
still love them. They seem like a bundle of fun. But I guess we
need to
did.
meet
I guess
Luann.
I used to not comment on stuff, but now it's like if you want to hear Craig and Austin's opinion on something, or if we get talked about, you know, in the press or Watch What Happens live, like we'll address it here now with all our besties and just be like, look, I know so and so said we had a tit-a-tat, but it's like we've always just been friends.
Yeah.
Austin
But that's
may or
just
may not
her.
have. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
just her.
Austin may or may not have exchanged
I know. Now I'm
numbers
like,
with Luann.
hold
but
on, let me go on my phone. Just like
He
to
wishes he did.
let me
It
just.
could be under like the Countess or Luann.
I don't think so.
But yeah, so now we'll be addressing stuff on Pillows and Beer, because before you just didn't want to give air to it. You didn't want to like comment, but I think it's kind of fun to like, instead of me and Austen just calling each other and being like, this one was a lighthearted one, but sometimes we're like, how, like, there's other housewives that like, one in particular that says our name a lot. And Austen's been like, can I talk about it on the podcast? And I'm like,
should we?
Do
you want to?
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, someone that I did meet at BravoCon and whose phone number that I did get and who talks shit about, I can add it to the list now because she had Sierra on her podcast and she was like, girl, you're up here and Austen, is down here. And I'm like, I have been nothing but nice to you. I was a guest on your podcast. I asked if you wanted to come on our podcast and clear the air with Craig. And then she does this lowbrow clickbait bullshit is what it is. Like clickbait bullshit to like try to be relevant. And it is disappointing to see.
And you did defend her.
And I said something to her. Yeah, man. And I said something to her and I texted her and I was like, what the hell? And she's like, no, you didn't see the whole clip. I said that, you were nice and that I had you on and I was like, that's a definition of fucking gaslighting, right? Like you're telling me that I'm crazy for thinking that you calling me down here is fucked up. And I'm like, it's fucked up that you're trying to defend it, but all right.
Yeah. So Brandy,
see you in the streets, girl.
We both had interactions with her at BravoCon. I know she said a bunch of stuff about me after, I know,
man. She said that Craig was rude because Craig said that they don't do personalized monogram pillows. And how is that rude? It's just that his business doesn't do that.
And it was on the big Watch What Happens live stage. There's 100 of us out there. They're trying to get us off the stage. We're all waving. And she came up and she was like, Craig, I'd love a pillow. And I was like, sure. Like, I'd love to get you a pillow. Like, I love sending people pillows. And she's like, all right, I'd love for it to say BG. And I was like, oh, well, we don't really do custom pillows, but maybe I can figure it out. She's like, no, I just wanted to say BG. And I was like, okay, like, give me your information. I'll figure it out. But like, I didn't like stick around to talk, but we had places, we were being ushered off. I thought it was fine. But then, later on, she was like, Craig was hammered and like ignored me. And I was like, okay. But then Austen was always like, dude, why don't we just have her on the podcast? And I was like, because honestly, like, she keeps like throwing like shit my way. And like, I've never said anything. I've never even told the story. And I still aren't telling the same, the full story,
right,
about like how she was. But then after Austen went to bat for her, then she's like, well, Austen's like down here, piece of shit. And props to, I don't think Sierra took the bait, which was nice. She was just
laughed.
Like,
what are you gonna do? You're on someone else's podcast. You're like, oh, ha ha, like, okay, yeah, girl, woman power. And
yeah.
I was just like, what? Like,
but good on you for texting her. I thought that was, and then I remember you telling me, she's like, she's trying to say she wasn't mean. And I was like, yeah, that wasn't very, she was mean. Like, that's what it was. Like,
that is like just trying to pander to, an audience, whoever you have. And we
try to lift it. And look,
is that what you want to be? Just pander to whoever, whatever guest that, you have, but hey.
Well, and we never addressed it, but, we'll start addressing things on here a little more.
That's what we need to do, Craig. And everything that happens, like, I'm not going to, post something on my Instagram or anything like that, but we'll talk about it here.
Yeah. Our besties deserve to know. And
besties deserve to know the truth.
I used to just say it in person, like people would ask me about it, but it doesn't hurt. Again, we're never like the instigators. But anyway, when it's fun stuff like Sonia and Luann, props to y'all. And that's fun air to clear. But
Craig, you and I are probably going to be asked about this, like whenever our show comes out, right? I mean, you and I will probably be up there fairly soon into our season, probably first. And Andy's going to ask us, and it's going to be comical. God, man. Yeah, it'll be like in 2 months, I guess.
Well, okay. So then we do all that. We go out, we meet in Minnesota for the Brewers game. And then
it's Milwaukee.
Sorry. Wait. Okay. Yeah. Wait, what state were
we did spend the 4th of July in Minnesota too one time.
Yeah. Okay. So Wisconsin.
We did spend a month in Minnesota one night.
It was really, yeah.
Wait, say that again?
Austen said we spent a month in Minnesota one night. We were clown. We
But
dressed as
really,
clowns in a
but
parade.
really, it was Milwaukee. Like, we spent a month in Milwaukee one night. Like, we had one night and one night only in Milwaukee, and I thought that Craig was going to send it to the moon. Craig, I thought that you were going to wake up and be like, guys, I'll just meet you out there. I was like, no, Craig, you are not pulling this shit. Anyways, we get out to this house, right? Shout out to the Castle Vineyard at Wisconsin Getaways. If anybody, they have a bunch of
It's
gorgeous homes out there.
affordable. It's only, honestly, this castle, like
Castle on a vineyard.
semi-mansion, golf simulator, like entire game room, movie theater, like it's Art Deco to the nines. I think it only
piano
ranges
hanging out
around
the
like
ceiling.
$500 a night, like, and it sleeps. I mean, there was 8 of us comfortably. But go
I think
ahead.
it's a little more than that, but yeah, no. Just a
No,
gorgeous,
there was 8 of us. I'm saying,
just a gorgeous place for us to crash, and we had catered food and private chef for breakfast and dinner, which we booked like ourselves. They didn't book it for us, but and then we just played 2 back-to-back excellent days of golf. If you don't know what Whistling Straits is, it is where the Ryder Cup was played. I think a U.S. Open was played there. It is just bucket list.
I believe
golf
it's
course.
where DJ got screwed out of the PGA.
it is.
I think
when
you're
they
right.
grounded his club, or they, and he didn't even know it was a rule. But the Ryder Cup was there. Austin and I really took it in. Austin's family is like a golf family. We like golf. Like, we live on a golf course community. Like, we like golf, but we don't have as many memories around it. But even I was like, just sharing it with Austin was really cool. And like, we were with some NFL guys. Like, shout out to Will and Ian. Like, the reason I say that is because they had a massage therapist on the range that was like stretching people out. Like, I mean, the course was something out of a movie, and everyone had a caddy. So I had never really done that before either.
Yeah, but walking the course takes 5 hours, Nick, and just people out there. Like, a normal round of 18 with like a foursome should take you 4 hours basically, and this was 5 hours and 5 minutes, and they're very specific about telling us that time. 5 hours, 5 minutes. I was like, whatever. So the next day, Craig, when I woke up, I was like hobbling around. I mean, I was physically sore. I was really sore.
Yeah,
and
but
some of us got drunker we all were drunk on the 4th of July, right? Because it was just so much fun. But the 5th of July, we had a rain delay for 3 hours. And a few of us, myself included, took it upon ourselves to really,
well,
really
that was
just
the
have
day,
a go at it.
the jibbers, which we'll get to that probably.
The jiggers.
We'll get
Because
to the
it's a
jiggers.
beer made in Scotland, and they only sell it at the old course in Scotland and at this course in Kohler, Wisconsin, which is Whistling Straits.
But so
DMO's beer circuit.
on Whistling Straits, front 9, me and Shep played better than Austin on the most part.
Yeah.
And then on the back 9,
Yeah.
Austin. Well, you turned it on the back 9, and that's when like I went south, and then so
Craig just like kind of gave up on whole 14. He was like,
I was pissed. Well, because I was playing good bogey golf till then. I had some pars, some doubles, but I shot up 45 on the front 9. So did Austin, by the way, but his came on like
I don't know
later.
I don't know how that happened.
And the course is so beautiful, and you're walking. So you basically just like pass the cart girl, grab a beer, maybe a couple for your bag, and you're just like drinking and smiling with your friends. But yeah, then we had this rain delay, and Austin, Shep, and I refused to go in. So the caddies went in. So we just carried our own bags for like 2 holes on this like world famous course. Then we were made to like kind of take shelter. And then after that is when I just took my wheels off. Like I just couldn't play anymore. And so then Austin like said something that wasn't that bad, but just that he was playing well, and I had quadrupled the last 4 holes. And so I walked up and took his ball and threw it in the pond, and then just walked to the clubhouse.
I said that Craig had tripled the past 3 holes, and he was like,
And it was only
that pisses me off. And I was like, why? That I'm kicking your ass on the course right
No,
now?
he just
So were
started
you guys
adding
playing
gasoline
team
to the
golf?
fire.
Like I saw you guys had four.
Yeah.
You know, you wore four different.
We
or
were
two
playing team
different
golf,
shirts.
but like
We didn't know the rules.
we didn't really know like what was going on, man, because everyone was just playing their own ball. I don't even know if we told everyone. We didn't do it the way that we were supposed to do it. I mean, we technically had teams, as Nick, you saw by our team outfits, but
And shout out to Travis Matthews.
Shout out to Travis Matthews. Shout out to Brandon Bills. Shout out to Cricket. They sent us all sorts of
Incredible gear.
just incredible. I mean, shoes,
And it
shorts, shirts, hats. I mean, we were geared out. Like when we first freaking walked in, we were just opening up packages for the first like 30 minutes, and everyone was like,
They make
"I
golf
want this,
look
and I
really
want this,
cool.
and I want that." And so,
And all the
shout
golf
out to
course,
them.
like if you want to get a rise out of the golf course, show up in matching outfits, because they at first might think, wait, these guys are like know what they're doing, and then they're like, wait a minute, these guys are going to be a handful. Like they know right when you're walking.
You're like, "Can I get a double transfusion to go, please, while I chug this beer before we get out there?"
Oh man, it was.
I actually
so-
didn't drink liquor on the course, Craig, and I was talking to Keith and some other friends, later, and they said that they were, and I didn't drink liquor on purpose because I was like, we just paid $650 for this round. I like want to
Yeah, that
remember
was-
it for God's sakes. So I was drinking beers,
we
drinking lots of beers.
I mean, it helps that I was just, I mean, we were basically next week we'll tell you about day 2, and that ends with my golf club still being in Wisconsin. And I was going to talk to you, say, can you call your cousin and ask if I send a golf bag and ship sticks to there, can they just leave it in the garage?
Well, your golf bag is in the garage.
Okay, good.
Your golf
But
bag. Is
I
in the
mean-
garage. So Nick,
Like
to
2,000 miles away.
to wrap this up, okay? So we're playing. We're on 18, a great, finishing hole, super tough. I hit a risky drive, and I was like, oh, man, it's in the shit. And then I go there, I'm like, what? It's in this perfect spot. Anyways, I hit an approach. I'm kneeling down to putt, and Craig just walks up, and I see him coming from 50 yards away, and he has this look on his face of like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And I'm like, what is Craig? And so, I'm sitting there with my caddy. I'm like, all right, it's breaking left. It's going right, and he just walks up, picks up my ball. He turns around,
So
just
he goes,
throws
don't
it.
do it.
I go, don't do it, Craig. Don't do it. Don't do it. And he doesn't stop. He picks it up. He takes my ball. He looks at me. He turns around and he throws it in the creek, behind me. And I was just like, and then Craig just kept on walking, and he didn't finish the hole or
I
anything.
had
He
like
just
a
kept walking.
great 14. Like once the rain came, it was hard for me to keep it up, but it was a blast. And we'll tell you about round 2. Next.
I mean, round 2, and then Shep and I going on to Chicago, I guess. I mean, unless anything crazy happens between now and Thursday, Craig, that we have to comment on, we're going to, let's see you guys on Thursday.
Yeah, we'll never put it past the universe we live in.
True.
We love
Well,
you guys.
after this drops on
sh-
Tuesday, who's to say what sort of rebuttal that we're going to have on Thursday.
All right, well, take us out, Austen.
All right, besties, thanks for listening to this episode on this hopefully beautiful Tuesday, wherever you are. We hope that you had a very safe 4th with friends and family. We love telling you about our 4th. Thank you for listening. Don't forget, you can listen to our podcast, Pillows and Beer, anywhere that you get your podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, Apple, etc. We love you very much. Until Thursday, we'll see you then.